welcome back to the End of the Fourth Football Podcast. It is me, your host, B-Hizzy, aka Brendan Hurst, and as always, I am joined by the one and only Prez the Prez, Chris Mullaney. How are you doing, man?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, we are running the Hurry Up Offense today. It's the review show, the Week 13 review show. And we'll just jump straight into it, will we? We'll start off with that Thursday night game where the Buffalo Bills ran. It was 24-10 winners over the New England Patriots, and I think this is a victory that the Bills needed, and as it turned out, it's proved more important than they could have known at the time, because of basically all the results went their way, because Tennessee lost, Miami lost, and so did Kansas City.
And the Jets.
And the Jets, yeah, I suppose as well, yeah. So this was a big win for the Bills, and they would now climb back up to that number one seed in the AFC.
Yep, exactly. I watched the game, as you know. I worked very hard, and it was a weird game to watch. I thought Buffalo just played them off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones. Somebody put on Facebook last night, what's the wrong with the Patriots? Well, is it Belichick? Is it Matt Patricia? Is it Mac Jones? Well, it's all three of them. Belichick doesn't care about offense. Bill Belichick couldn't do an offensive game plan to save his life. Matt Patricia's a defensive coordinator at best. And Mac Jones is a very undersized, medium arm quarterback. But New England, that's why when we did our prediction review show, I said I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I could see that being the case. They dropped to 3-3 at home and 6-6 on the year. Mac Jones was 22 for 36, 195 yards and a touchdown. So not bad against this Bills defense. It's really, when you look at Ramondre Stevenson, who did average 5.4 yards per carry, he had 10 carries for 54 yards. So that's not too bad. But you need more from your run game to beat Buffalo, and it's easier said than done.
Exactly.
On the other side of the ball, Josh Allen, he was 22 for 33, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns. See, that is the kind of performance that I've been wanting to see from Josh Allen. Took care of the ball, disciplined, was on top, was accurate, and I don't think the Patriots defense was really ever going to give him many problems anyway. But it's not like he he forced the ball really anywhere. He, the good thing as well is he wasn't the leading rusher for the Bills. That was James Cook, who is the pickup on fantasy this week. There's your top tip. Devin Singletary did start the game, but James Cook finished with more carries, more yards, more receptions, and more receiving yards. So Buffalo outgained New England by over 100 yards. Time of possession was a whitewash. The Bills had the ball for almost 40 minutes. They were 9 for 15 on third down. It's just, that's perfect from what you want from the Bills. That's if I was a Bills fan, I'd have felt a lot more comfortable watching that performance after, not so much, I wouldn't say bad performances, but it's been shaky ever since Josh Allen, injured his elbow.
Yeah. I would say so.
Aye. All right then. Well, we are running a hurry up offense. So if you've got nothing else to say about that game, we will keep going. We've got the Steelers winning a 19-16 contest against the Atlanta Falcons.
How the hell did that happen? This is the weirdest franchise in the NFL right now. They've got absolutely nothing offensively, pretty average defensively, and are still winning. And they're not going to make the playoffs. We know that, but they're going to sting somebody who's trying to get a 7 seed or something like that. They're going to sting someone.
I wonder if it's potentially the what's the word? Mike Tomlin's insistence on never finishing a season below 500. Steelers improved to 5-7 with this win, and you look at these games, and yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but all the games that they have left are very, very winnable. With the way that they're playing right now, they're playing disciplined, strong arm football. Kenny Pickett is taking care of the ball. He went 16 for 28, 197 yards and a touchdown. And Najee Harris kind of finally seems to be cooking a little bit. He had 17 carries for 86 yards.
Exactly. As I always, oh shit.
Mm-mm.
Oh, sorry. As I always say, you don't get extra brownie points for having chunk plays.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the thing 4 yards, right? Run it for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I do a dump off for 3. There you go. There's you got a fresh set of downs. You don't
That's
have
offensive
to
coordinator Chris coming out again.
I know, but you know what? People make it sound it's so difficult. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Play basic stuff. I mean, okay, I'm not the one getting tackled with 300-pound, defensive tackles, but
Mm-hmm.
it's easy.
The what's the word? The thought is there, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts. But yeah, no, the Steelers, very, very nice performance by them. Let me just get some stats up, get some numbers here. They outgained the Falcons by about 40 yards, about 50 yards. Didn't turn the ball over. They won the time of possession. They had more first downs. They were 6 for 12 on third down, and that's what it takes to beat this Falcons team, who I think have kind of fallen off the wagon now. They're really, I don't really think many people thought they were on the wagon to begin with, but when they were kind of threatening and they were figuring things out, and it looked like they were competent running the ball, it just kind of seems to have gone downhill since. Yep. To be honest, I kind of since like Cordarrelle Patterson's come back.
I know. Bench him.
Yeah, exactly.
I was here and there permanently.
Aye. But I mean, the Steelers finished the season. They've got the Ravens twice. They've got the Panthers, the Raiders, and then they've got the Browns on the final day of the season. So, I'm not necessarily saying they're going to finish, 10-7 and make the playoffs. But I mean, would you be surprised at 9-8 with these games here? I wouldn't.
No,
I really wouldn't.
Do you know what? 10-7 wouldn't even surprise me either.
I mean, to be honest, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They could win every single game left.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I could see that for sure. All right, then.
We'll wait and see.
We'll keep going here. We've got the Green Bay Packers winning another one at Soldier Field against the Bears, 28-19. And for a long while in this game, it really did look like I was going to be right with my feeling. I had a gut feeling the Bears were going to win this. I picked them to win. I was wrong. I'm kind of glad about that. I don't know. I can't work out if I'm happy. I know. I suppose I think it's just it's a little bit different about beating the Bears.
What's the law, right? The law is if you're going to tank for like a pick, lose every game, but you've got to beat your rivals.
Yeah, you've got to beat your rivals. Yeah,
especially
there was a lot that was riding on this one as well.
If the Green Bay Packers went 2-15, right, as long as those 2 wins came against the Bears, nobody would care.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you would be going, oh, we finished 2-15. Well, and who cares?
No, for sure. It did look like for a period of time that the Bears were going to sneak this one. It was 19-10 at the end of the third quarter. The Packers scored 18 unanswered. Deshawn Watson, was a huge threat again. He had 94 all-purpose yards from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns again. I've voted for him for Rookie of the Week. Hope you do that as well.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers was fine. 18 for 31, 182 yards, a touchdown. It's not well. I mean, with the way he's beaten up at the minute, that's all we can ask for. And when it comes down to it, it is another nice win against the Bears. The Bears did outgain the Packers. Justin Fields had a big touchdown he had a big touchdown run. It was about 60 yards. And it was just knife through butter for that Packers defense, which just they can't stop the run. And it's so atrocious to watch.
You need a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, because it makes no sense that the way this has, the way it's fallen, like how bad it is.
Your offense is good enough to win games. It's good enough. But the problem is your defense can't stop the other team.
Yeah.
Which means you can't win games.
If we could play, if we could play the run the way we played the pass for the first however many weeks of the year, the Packers could be, 13 and whatever right now.
But that's it, and what you have to do is you have to dare the other team to throw the ball. Because you can stop that. You can't stop running.
Yeah. It's despite this win, I say it's easily the worst Packers defense I've ever seen. And that's hard to accomplish because it was atrocious in 2019. It was pretty bad in 2020 and was the reason we didn't win the Super Bowl, I think. It was meh last year, but the one thing, and I said this after the game, I said this during,
You're not getting a pass for that. You're not getting a pass on that. Your defense was poor in 2020. You're not getting a pass on that. You went to Tampa, you were at Lambeau against a 55-year-old Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right? 19 first downs. And who cost you? The guy wearing number 12. So you're not getting a pass.
Well, I am over that game now, so let's try not to talk about it and scar me again. With this one, it just winds me up when you've got players like Jair Alexander, who was the worst player on the field. I don't care about game-winning interception that he grabbed or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me at all because constantly he's jumping routes and he's getting beat deep, and this happened a couple of times this year. And for the amount of money he's being paid, it's just unacceptable. And when he's in post-game press conferences calling his former teammate a scrub, no, doesn't wash with me, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's all good. I like Jair's trash talk. I like he's that kind of physical corner, not afraid of a challenge. But you need to own that kind of performance. Yep. And he was bad. He was really bad in this game. And people just seem to be too blind to see because he got that pick. The way I look at it is this: is if Aaron Rodgers stunk up the joint, right, and comes out in the press conference after the game and says, "Oh well, that guy that picked me off twice in this game, he's a scrub. He just got lucky." No. Could you imagine the media reaction? And don't give me this; it's different for quarterbacks, right? They're still grown men. They're leaders, right? Jair's been a captain. Aaron Rodgers is a captain, right? Don't give me that. Jair, be better. Still love you, but be better.
Okay.
But yeah, Packers 6 for 13 on third down. Bears 6 for 11. But yeah, I think the killer here was the Bears turned the ball over 3 times. Obviously, 2 picks. They were back-breaking. They were both in the fourth quarter. And Justin Fields seems to continue to have no luck against the Packers.
Okay.
All right, then. The less said about this one, the better. Jags 14, Lions 40.
Right, let me run 2 games together here. I know we don't normally do this, but because of what hurry up offense, we're going to run 2 games together.
Okay.
Vikings beat the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I had one on the phone and one on the television. Okay? It's the biggest game in the bloody franchise history since that AFC title game. All you've got to do is beat the Lions, and you're handing Kirk Cousins a division title. And they fluff it. Travis Etienne, first bloody play, he fumbles the bloody thing. I'm not being funny. Hold on to it. Okay, I'm not the one getting tackled by 300-pound defensive tackles, but just hold the ball. Can somebody in the off-season contact Roger Goodell and ask if we can put super glue on Zay Jones's gloves?
Yeah.
The amount of times that guy is throwing the ball and it just bounces off his hand. Defense, the defense sort of disappeared.
Yep.
We made Jared Goff look like Joe Montana.
Yeah, Jared Goff finished 31 for 41, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It's embarrassing.
Fantasy quarterback for me. Very happy with that.
It's embarrassing
Yeah, this
at
was
times.
a very, very brutal loss for the
All
Jags. Who,
you had to do was beat the Lions, and
mhm,
you were handing Kirk Cousins a division title,
mhm.
and they couldn't do it. In Minnesota, of course, 1 o'clock, Kirk arrived.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't
Doesn't
even
matter.
that great. That's the thing. Less than 175 yards passing. I
Doesn't
mean,
matter if your run game's strong.
was it 20 carries for 86 yards? Was that 4.3 yards per carry? I mean, I suppose that's not bad, but
Read the final score.
yeah, no, that's what it is. But you look at the the real story of this game is that the Jets had almost 200 yards more than the Vikings.
I know.
The Giants. Oh my God, the Jets just couldn't figure it out in the red zone. They
That
had
is it. And
three
that's
trips
what.
there that all ended in field goals, and if they are seven, the Jets win this game.
Yeah, that's why the Broncos have struggled this year.
Mm-hmm.
They can get there. They can't figure out. Oh, the ball has to break the plane. Right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets. I don't know now if they'll make the playoffs. I really don't. I think they'll sneak in somewhere. I just don't, because I thought I originally picked the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do have a theory of who could get in the back door. They're like really creeping in the back door, which is Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be annoying because I've been laughing all year at how bad they've been, and calling for Josh McDaniel's head, and calling Devontae Adams and saying he's made a mistake, and then they go make the playoffs, and our season's done.
I take it you won't be doing that podcast if that happens.
No, I won't. That'll be one for you.
Because I mean, they are. I mean, it's the Jets 7-5. I mean, so you look around, right, the wild cards. So you've got Cincinnati 8-4. They're tying with that North. South is done. Bengals 8-4, as we said.
They're going to win that division now, I think.
Chargers 6-6, and they're struggling a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins 8-4, and the Jets 7-5. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams sniffing around that AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Vegas, get in those playoffs.
You look at the Jets' final 5 games, and the way they've been playing, you'd think that it would definitely be possible for them to come out with a victory.
What have we got left?
They've got the Bills next week.
That's a loss.
That's an L. Then they've got the Lions, the Jags, at the Seahawks, and they finish the season at the Dolphins. So
what was one before the Dolphins?
The Seahawks.
Right, so that's an L. The Dolphins is an L.
Mm-hmm.
They'll beat the Jags.
And they've got to beat the Lions as well. So 9-8. Yeah. Is it enough? I don't know at this point.
It might be enough for 7th seed. Anyway.
Sorry, that would be. I'm talking rubbish. What am I talking about? That would be 10-7, wouldn't it? You'd think that would be enough.
Yeah, they're currently 7-5.
Mm-hmm. We are doing 2 games at once here. I don't know if there's much else to talk about with this Lions Jags game. I think you want to get past that, so we will. I think the key here was just the lack of red zone efficiency from the Jets. And they were 3 for 16 on third downs, and that tells you a lot. Mike White, we know that Mike White, he's decent, right? I think he's better throwing the ball than Zach Wilson, right? And I don't know if I don't think that's a particularly hot take, but you don't want any quarterback. You don't want Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball nearly 60 times. Mike White threw the ball 57 times in this game. And I get they had to, because Zonovan Knight, I don't know who this guy is, but he should be out of the building. If you had 3 separate opportunities to punch it in the red zone, and he was stuffed every time. I'm sorry. No, this guy cannot be dealing. When you've got James Robinson, I don't know if he's, got an injury. But no, I can't be dealing with that. I know Michael Carter's got injured, and I think he might be on injured reserve, but No, this again. This, after you look at last week for the Vikings and you compare it to this week, and you think, this is the kind of game that if the Vikings play like this in January, they will lose, and they will lose horrendously.
Why are you trying to, burst my Kirk bubble?
Just, I'm just saying, like, he needs to do better, right? And he was 21 for 35, 173 yards and a touchdown, right? Yeah, your defense can hold it out. That's great. But Justin Jefferson, Justin Jefferson, 7 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. I need more. I put $90 on him as an in the auction draft for fantasy, and he's just not paid me back, despite him being like the second-rated wide receiver through our scoring system.
Who?
Justin Jefferson.
All right. Yeah. Well, you also traded away your quarterback as well.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter to me.
Anyway, didn't help this week because I get beat. But anyway, that's not the problem.
Right,
I couldn't beat Kenny twice. That's not nice.
Right. Well, okay. So we have another tie. 2020 between the Commanders and the Giants, and I think at this point is like a tie. You look at the records and it just looks wrong. Like the second hyphen, 7-5-1 for the Commanders, 7-4-1 for the Giants. Nah, I'm not a fan.
But then everyone's coming up with ways of you can, how do you split it, and it's just. There's no real way. There's no real correct answer to it. The Giants played okay, so did the Commanders, and this is why I cannot wait for 2 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
That on prime time is going to be brilliant.
That made your day when I told you that yesterday, didn't it?
Oh yes, I cannot wait. Especially because that weekend I'm working the Saturday night as well. What a weekend I've got. I've got Kirk Cousins on the Saturday and I've Daniel Jones on the Sunday.
And you've got the World Cup final.
Yeah. But, I am working the Saturday night, so I'll need to wake up in time for that,
Aye.
I mean, if it's coming home, but, it could be very good.
Daniel Jones, your man Daniel Jones, was not bad in this game. Threw the ball pretty well, 25 for 31. He connected on an absolute dime to set up that game-winning field goal in overtime. Who was it? Darius Slayton, I think it was. He was 25 for 31, 200 yards and a touchdown. He did enough to win this game for me. And Joe and Graham Gano lets them down.
Bloody ship it off.
We don't like saying that because he's got Scottish heritage. With regards to the Commanders, Taylor Heineke, to me, the Taylor Heineke bubble has pops now. I don't think he was particularly good in this game. 27 for 41, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not bad, but I mean, I don't know.
Taylor Heineke is like, the best way to describe Taylor Heineke, he's a courtesy car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He will do the job while your star's in getting repaired.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is Carson Wentz a star?
No, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, for example, if he was on another roster, if he was on the Packers roster and Aaron Rodgers was hurt, you could put Taylor Heineke in there.
Yeah, for sure. He could be serviceable. I just think that, you look at the way Daniel Jones played in this game and you compare his weapons to the way Taylor Heineke played and his weapons. I think the Commanders probably have, we talk about the Dolphins having the best wide receiver duo. I think that as a unit, the top 3 receivers on the Commanders probably the best in the league. You've got Terry McLaurin, who's obviously, a top 5 receiver. Curtis Samuel, who I think is, top, maybe 15, 20.
Yeah, 15.
As a nice second option. And then Jahan Dotson's having a really nice rookie year, right? I think the 3 of there, and then you compare it to Daniel Jones, and he's got Darius Slayton. I'm totally honest, cards on the table, didn't know who he was before this year. Never heard his name before. Is he a rookie?
I have him in fantasy.
Well, I mean, he played well in this game. 6 catches for 90 yards.
I know. It's been strange watching Daniel this year, and this is the reason I'm really excited about 2 weeks' time, because obviously we watch Red Zone a lot, so I see clips of him.
Yeah,
I want to see Daniel fully.
Yeah, aye.
What, you're lying on the floor dying? Well, I'm watching Daniel here.
Yeah, priorities here.
Exactly.
Another glaring issue for the Giants here in this game. Well, 2 more. 4 for 13 on third downs. The Commanders were actually worse. They were 3 for 14, but still, that's not good. But Daniel Jones was the lead rusher. I mean, that's not his job, right? It's great that he has that dual threat ability to be able to do that, but if they can get Saquon going, and I know it's hard because the Commanders have a really good run, like defensive front, front 7 to try and stop that run, but this is when your leading rusher is your quarterback, unless your offense is specifically built for getting him opportunities, which you could debate that the Giants' offense is, because he is very, very good at, he has a very good side to his game in that, but I wouldn't consider him dual threat because I do you know what I'm saying?
Daniel Jones is a white, taller version of Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
With worse weapons.
I could see that, yeah.
But anyway,
we're
still in the playoff hunt.
Yes, but it just doesn't look right with that tie there. Not a fan. Right then, we'll head forward here. We've got the AJ Brown revenge game with the Tennessee Titans losing. They're getting blown out by the Philadelphia Eagles, who are just unstoppable at this point in time.
Right, Philadelphia won, beat Tennessee, move on.
35-10. Jalen Hurts, 29 for 39, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. Loving it.
Wait till January.
I'm not even worried about it because, the Eagles showed yet again that they can win any other time. You've got Miles Sanders had 10 carries for 24 yards, and that was he was their leading rusher.
For 24 yards, that is embarrassing.
They did have a score, but how many more questions can you put at this Eagles team and say, we could do it this way, or we can beat them that way? Yeah, you can run the ball on them, but they can throw the ball on you. They can stop you throwing the ball.
No. I watched that Monday night game that they lost. Okay, and you're not getting a pass. It was a Monday, so it doesn't count.
I wouldn't have said that.
Right? You stop the run, stop them running it, and nullify AJ Brown, and they're snookered.
But the thing is, what teams have the personnel for that? Tennessee clearly don't, and I think they've got a really good. I think, to be fair, the Titans probably have a better defense than the Commanders. The Commanders did it just fine. I don't know about front 7, but I think as a unit and as a scheme, I think the Tennessee Titans have a better defense.
I don't rate the corner McCready.
No, I mean, he's played a ton for them, and he's only a rookie, so.
Yeah, but in the NFC playoff race, right? Who can stop them? The 49ers can stop them. Tom Brady in January can stop them.
For sure.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think New York.
Yeah. We're yet to see those two play each other this year.
That's Sunday on Sky.
You must be buzzing.
Oh, can't wait. I'm going for a change.
AJ Brown, who was on the Tennessee Titans, 8 catches for 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has more touchdowns this year than himself than the entire group of Titans wide receivers. And I know they're a bit short-handed. They've got Treylon Burks. He's been hurt, and he obviously left this game early. But the Titans just couldn't get a foothold in this game. Ryan Tannehill finished the game 141 yards on 14 for 22 and a touchdown. He was also their leading rusher for 3 carries for 34 yards. I mean, that says a lot, but I mean, I think they were down, they had to,
That's the thing, I think.
You find a very solid, I don't even know if it's a really solid run defense, and I feel like teams can nullify Derrick Henry. I don't know how it's happened, but he should have had a field day against this Eagles front, and he just didn't.
Fill the box.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sounds very easy.
I know. And this is against Derrick Henry, of all people.
I can tackle him.
All right, we'll tweet him. Let's do it. Eagles outgained the Titans by over almost 250 yards. Third downs weren't great for both teams. Titans were 4 for 14, Eagles 3 for 11. But the key here is the Eagles were 3 for 3 on fourth down. And that's kind of all it takes at that point. Really impressed by the Eagles. I don't know where they get stopped now. Look at the end of their schedule. You need to get the Giants, the Bears. I think they might lose that game to the Cowboys. The Saints, the Giants. I think 15-2 is the floor for them. Unfortunately for everybody else.
Nope. 13-4.
Well, we'll see. We will see. All right.
You may lock up for next week already.
What's that?
Just lock them up right now for me for next week.
All right, fair enough. You want to take that lock? That's fine. I think we should just eliminate the Broncos from being spoken about.
Yes, 10-9.
10-9. Is that not the second scoreline for them like this year?
No, it was 12. It was 12-9.
Oh, it was, there was 12-9 and there was 11-10.
It's embarrassing to watch.
I've had enough. I've had enough of the Broncos. Lamar Jackson left this game. This was wide open for the Broncos, and they just can't do it. I've no idea what it is. Russell Wilson still has less touchdown passes than Carson Wentz this year. Carson Wentz hasn't played since in over half the season now.
Let's stop making statistics up.
But it's a measuring stick, right? Here's a good way to see if your quarterback is playing even a modicum of slightly well. Does he have more touchdown passes than a guy who isn't playing?
Oh, yes. Yes, Russell Wilson has more touchdowns than Brock Purdy, and he's actually playing.
I've had enough. I've had enough of this Broncos team. 2 for 12 on third down. I think they just want to get out of this year.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not as if the Ravens were particularly convincing. But I
know.
It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Less said about this one, the better. No thanks. Tyler Huntley coming in to win this one, 27 for 32, 187 yards and an interception, but more than enough to win this game.
Exactly.
All right, then. Well, we'll take a short break. When we're back, we should manage to finish off the rest of these games. There's only 7 to go. I should say, just before we move on to the next game, is that Lamar Jackson did get injured in the Broncos game. Obviously, we did allude to it. John Harbaugh has said that it's not a season-ending knee injury. But, I mean, if I were Lamar at this point now, it's time to shut up shop for the season and be fit and healthy and ready to go for free agency.
Okay, but
because I feel like this is already bringing your value down with the way you've played. Plus an injury, if it's an injury which, of course, John Harbaugh's going to say it's not a long-term injury, it's not a season-ending injury, but I don't know, I think that for Lamar's point of view, if he wants to make the bag like we all think he's going to make, like he thinks he should be making, the strategic move here is to shut it down, rehab, and get ready. I know that's probably not what will happen, but I think that I think that's the move now. You bet on yourself. You've put it out there. Are the Ravens 8-4 without him? I don't think so.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. We will see. Right then. The Browns 27, Texans 14. This one was obviously a big game because Deshawn Watson made his long-awaited return to a starting quarterback's lineup. He finished 12 for 22, 131 yards and an interception, and he just felt like it wasn't good in this one. And I get that's obviously not getting live reps where you've got a fierce pass rush in your face. But there were several times where passes he threw would skim the ground and hit in front. And really, the Browns won this game in spite of him and their offense, because the Texans' defense didn't really give up any offensive points.
What was Amari Cooper's statistics?
Well, he was. I can't find it. Hang on, let's see what we got here. Yes, Amari Cooper had 4 catches for 40 yards on 9 targets.
It's just every time he threw the ball to him, it was going behind him, or Amari Cooper wouldn't catch it. It was almost like, I'll catch it if Jacoby Brissett throws it to me, but I'm not catching it if you do it.
It just seems to me that this is what we'd feared, what we'd said kind of all season leading up to his return, is that you wonder whether bringing him back in is going to upset the balance that the Browns have got going on right now. On offense, because 28, 29, 30, 31, or 30 other teams beat the Browns in this game.
I know.
So it's very lucky this was, I wonder if that was part of the optics, was him coming back in this game for the chance to win, because the Texans are bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Browns 4 for 13 on third down. Texans just 1 for 12. Kyle Allen didn't play too horribly, I don't think. Not great, not horrendous. 20 for 39, 201 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Clearly, it's more than just him. He's doing what he can. To be honest, I don't know if he's any worse than Davis Mills.
I think now they're just playing now they know that they're getting the number 1 pick.
Well, they were eliminated from playoff contention with this loss here, so
shocking.
We'll just about leave it at that, I suppose. The thing that's I think here is that the Texans had more first downs than the Browns, 16-14. So a lot to be said about that. All right, Seahawks 27, Rams 23. The Rams are on now, I think it's a 6-game losing streak. A Super Bowl champion, defending Super Bowl champions, never had a 6-game losing streak the following year. So
this has been a really weird. That was a weird game. Because I actually thought at one point the Rams could win this. And the thing with the Rams is they're not exactly horrible either.
The defense is good. The defense is really good.
You just can't put it all together.
We saw them kind of disrupt what Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs wanted to get going was it last week? So the defense is good, but John Wolford, he started the game at quarterback ahead of Matt Stafford, who's probably done for the season, and potentially that could be it for him as a career. 14 for 26, 178 yards and 2 picks for John Wolford in this game, who is the only NFL player or the only active NFL player who has a LinkedIn page. There's a good one for you.
I've just had the weirdest thought in my head.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford's done for the year. Well, Matt Stafford could be done. Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. Tom Brady's done in Tampa. San Francisco want Tom Brady. The two of them in the NFC West together.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
I mean, I know they play each other, but could you imagine twice a year the two of them playing each other?
Well, it would only be 2 more matchups.
But, well, no, because those two could take those teams to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as we want to see the best quarterbacks playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they're not exactly... See, Tom Brady's not finished.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers would just shut up talking about the meaning of life, and trying to sell us on, I'm not retiring, but I might retire. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
But Rams are done, and I think the Seahawks will get that 7th seed just.
Yeah, this is one they needed for sure. And it, it's one that the Seahawks have kind of been owned by the Rams, especially in the Sean McVay era. So very important win for the Seahawks to get this one. Geno Smith played, outstanding again, 28 for 39, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Him and Kenneth Walker were kind of jawing at each other on the, well, maybe that's not a good way to put it with Geno Smith. They were bumping gums on the sideline, talking a little bit of smack to each other, but they got the win. That's all that matters. And with an injury that we'll get on to just in one moment, you could it be out of the question that the Seahawks can make a run and win this division? Who have they got to finish the year? They've finished with, so they've got the Panthers, got the Niners, that could kind of decide it there. They've got the Chiefs, they're at the Chiefs, so that's an L there. The Jets and the Rams. So what, of 3-2? So they finished 10-7. I don't know. I think that could win that division now because of the way that, who knows what's going to happen with the 49ers.
Brock Purdy's good enough.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We will get onto this game right now then. With the San Francisco 49ers coming back from what was a strange opening way to open the game, where the Dolphins scored on their first play of the game. Tua Tagovailoa threw a big touchdown pass to who was it?
Hill?
No, it wasn't him. Trent Sherfield. That's it. It says right here, Trent Sherfield. So yeah, to open the game, this game was close. The Dolphins, they were only losing 23-17. They had the ball. They were rolling up the field. They were going to tie this game up, and I think that the loss of Terron Armstead and Austin Jackson, who both didn't play in this game, was obviously going to be a challenge, and it was too much for them to overcome. Tua kind of looked like he'd regressed a little bit. I'm not saying this is going to be a thing to keep an eye on as such, but it kind of looked how he looked the past 2 years, struggling, desperate, throwing wayward passes, and of course it resulted in a loss there.
I know. But I just think that I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 49ers are going to win this Super Bowl the same way the Broncos did.
Yeah.
Their defense will lead them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the concern is for me is that Brock Purdy, he was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft, and I think there's a reason for that. He threw the ball 37 times, completed 25 of them, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. So not a terrible showing, did what he did. Christian McCaffrey's beaten up. You could tell he wasn't 100% as he was, getting through that game, but they came away with the win. They were 8 for 19 on third downs. The Dolphins didn't convert a third down in this game. and that kind of tells you the story, really. The Dolphins had the ball for less than 20 minutes. They just couldn't get things going. A lot of massive discrepancies in the time of possession this week.
I know, I have noticed that.
Mm-hmm. This one's crazy. It's like less than 20 minutes. Having the ball less than 20 minutes is not a good start. 49ers had 10 more first downs than the Dolphins. Yeah, it was. I think overall it was kind of comfortable. They did lose Jimmy Garoppolo at the end of their first offensive drive. He's broken his foot and will be out for the year. I don't know, man. I don't know if they can. The way I look at it is like, who could they come up against in the Super Bowl? Is it like the Chiefs, the Bills, even a team like the Bengals? It's like, you say that their defense could carry them to a title, but I don't think that their defense is stopping either of those the teams on offense enough for Brock Purdy to rise to the occasion.
Okay, we'll see.
That's very very, very, is it bearish on that there?
I'm telling you.
Okay, for sure. If it happens, I'll get a Brock Purdy jersey. How about that?
Not a problem at all.
All right then. Here's the one I want to talk about the most. Is the Joe Burrow meat riding festival is about to start. Bengals 27, Chiefs 24. Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes for the third time in a row, 3 times this calendar year. Finished the game 25 for 31, 286 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, Joe Burrow wins. Woo! Still not first place in his division.
For now. Look, I mean, this is similar to what we were saying about the Eagles. Is how many more questions can you throw their way? What does Joe Burrow have to do for you? Tell me, because he's beaten 2 of the best teams in the AFC. Does he need to beat the Bills in the playoffs? Because right now, I'd take the Bengals over the Bills.
How about win a ring?
Sure.
He had one chance.
Look.
Bottle crashed.
You say Derek Carr is elite. Joe Burrow won more playoff games last year than Derek Carr in his career, than Kirk Cousins in his career.
But Derek Carr's got nothing to throw to.
Oh, right. Okay.
What? Joe Burrow's got arguably, to be honest, I would say the 3rd best receiver in the NFL.
But he's been hurt.
Oh, his little pal. And what happened when he didn't have his little pal?
They went 4-0.
No, they didn't.
Did not? Hang on. Let's fact check that. Yeah, sure enough, they did. They went 4-0.
No, they didn't. It's the Browns.
That was 5 games ago.
And his little pal wasn't playing.
That was the game he got hurt in.
Well, his little pal wasn't there, so he's not elite. How is this league?
It's time. You will give Joe Burrow his dues before the end of the season. The Bills play the Bengals this season. I think it's week 16 or week 17. I think that, I'm sure it is. It's week 17 because I remember there being a big fantasy fantasy championship weekend that weekend. So that has a lot of implications. If Joe Burrow wins that one, is that enough for you?
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed back on the train, by the way. Well, you can't change your mind. We look at this here. Bengals 7 for 11 on 3rd down.
Just had to run by the offensive line.
Hmm?
I thought you said to get back on the train. Just that I had to run by the offensive line.
Yeah, that's true. Although to be fair, they've been, they've meshed together a lot better. He's been protected a lot more recently. How many times was he sacked in this game? Just once. So I know that the Chiefs don't have the greatest pass rush. Chris Jones is good. He kind of got things figured out a little bit in this one. Make some good pressures at the very least. But the Bengals had almost 100 yards more. They were 7 for 11 on third down. And that's how to beat the Chiefs, is you keep Patrick Mahomes off the field by extending drives, staying on the field on third downs. And it was enough. The Bengals had the clock over the Chiefs. They had more first downs. They had more takeaways. It was a fully convincing victory despite the scoreline.
Hmm.
And it looked like the Chiefs might win this one. They were winning 24-17 at one point. But my guy, Joe Burrow, he does it. Bengals, Eagles, Super Bowl, and I'm super happy.
Okay.
All right then. No, here you go. You can give your guy some credit here. Despite the fact he wasn't excellent, but regardless, Raiders 27, Chargers 20.
I don't want to talk about Derek Carr.
No.
Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. Very good in this one.
Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He leads that team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're now 5-7.
Mm-hmm. They won their last two.
What's the Raiders' remaining schedule?
Let's have a look. Oh, wrong button there. They have the Rams next week.
That's a W.
They've got the Patriots.
That could be a W.
That's a nice win. The Steelers.
That could be a W.
And then they finish the season against the 49ers and the Chiefs. Realistically, 9-8 is a
4-1.
It's definitely possible.
4-1 because I think they'll lose to the 49ers, but I think they'll beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The only reason I think is the Chiefs will be resting their stars.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Depending on how that AFC East is looking.
Yeah. It could be interesting for sure. I must admit, I'd be very disappointed because it's not as if they deserve to be there. They have been a very bad team to watch this year. And this game, they got the win. Fairduce tied the season series up with the Chargers, who are dead to me. They're dead in the water. I really think that they should have won this division. This was their chance to win this division. Justin Herbert, take things by the scruff of the neck. He played okay in this game. 28 for 47, 335 yards and a touchdown. Not horrible, not up to his standards. He's taking a little bit of a step back in this third year in the season in the league, but I've no doubt he'll be okay. He'll be fine. But it's just, I don't know. Is it a question of asking for a trade, going elsewhere, going across town to the Rams, perhaps,
and asking for Stafford?
No, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Look, Justin Herbert turns around the trade, and do the Rams not become instant contenders again with Justin Herbert?
One man does not make a team.
No, very true. Very true. Unless you're TJ Watt.
Well, yeah.
But we look at the stats here. Neither team was particularly outstanding on third down. Chargers 5 for 16, Raiders 3 for 10. No, nothing really excellent here. The Chargers did go 3 for 5 on fourth down, but you do have to be in those positions to get to it. The Raiders outgained them by not much. The time position was pretty even. The Chargers just edged it. The Chargers had more first downs and more takeaways, but couldn't capitalize, it seems. Derek Carr was 16 for 30, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 177 of those yards came from Davante Adams.
That's why he's elite.
Well, yep, there's no question about that.
He's got a better quarterback this year. So.
Okay, enough of that.
Right.
All right, we'll finish these up here. Last 2 games of the day. We've got a nice one. This is the second one of the season. It's scorigami time, where the Cowboys beat the Colts 54-19. That's the 1,074th unique scoreline in NFL history. Never happened before. then it's a win for everybody, even if it is the Cowboys.
Right. I don't want to jump on this game and it was awesome, because it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I actually turned it off halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, the Cowboys scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, right? That is a monumental meltdown, right? This game is, what's the math there? 20, they're winning 21-19 going into the fourth quarter. Okay.
Yep.
That tells you, like, this game was close.
Yep. At 21-13, the
Mhm.
Colts are driving. They got the touchdown, 21-19. Go for the 2 points, right? But the Colts, apparently, according to Pro Football Focus and other stats, they're the number one defense.
The Colts?
On fantasy, they're the number one. I don't know if that...
Right. Okay.
I don't know what that actually means.
Yeah, no, that is number one, yeah.
Right? I know what number one looks like. Maybe for Glasgow, I know what one looks like.
Aye.
So clearly they didn't trust the defense. Why not kick the extra point, go 21-20 down? Even if the Cowboys drive the other end and score a touchdown, it's an 8-point ball game. You're still in it.
Yeah.
Don't go for two and try and tie the game.
Yeah.
My God, Jeff Sardi should get the sack and I should be replacing him.
I mean, you look at this game, and none of the Cowboys players were particularly outstanding. Dak Prescott finished the game 20 for 30, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I wonder, I didn't watch the game. I wonder, was he pulled perhaps? This doesn't seem like he finished this game just because they were efficient, they were up, and they were winning. Nice.
The thing that the Cowboys are happy about, the tie suited them.
Yeah. They improved to 9-3, and I think could be a real thorn in the Eagles' side. I think that's got to be something they're looking at, as in, if we drop that one game to them, we can't afford another drop, because I don't know who the Cowboys. Let's look at their schedule to finish the season. Texans, Jags, Eagles, Titans, Commanders. Look, aside from that Eagles game, that's 4-0 right there.
Yeah, and I think they'll beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I think the Eagles will drop 2 more games as well.
Well, that's just because you're biased, because it's your boy Daniel.
Well, you don't know that.
Look at this game. We've got the Cowboys were 7 for 13 on third down. Says a lot there. They outgained the Colts by about 80 yards. The Colts had 5 turnovers. That tells you how that's the score of it, really. Matt Ryan had 3 picks. Dallas had more first downs. The Colts did have the ball for longer though, which says, I don't know if that says a lot considering the final score, but we're just happy. We're just really happy that it's scorigami. I think I don't know what the first one was this season, but I'm certain there's been 2.
Okay.
All right then, let's finish this up here with Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting I don't know. Is this a very lucky win? Tom Brady getting a lucky win? I'm not sure.
No. Did you watch the game?
I didn't watch the game, no.
I did.
But I've seen highlights.
No. You're not getting highlights as a pass.
No.
I watched the game, every single snap. The Saints beat themselves.
Yeah.
Right? They were 16-3 up, incomplete control, and then forgot you have to make 10 yards.
Yeah.
It was, the standout player for me of the whole game was Demario Davis. He is just awesome. I would love him in a Jags uniform.
Yeah.
I mean, he's brilliant. I mean, but I feel sorry for a guy I saw on Facebook today. He'd done an accumulator bet, and it was a Mike Evans anytime touchdown. Mike Evans got a touchdown. So the left tackle hole held. 10 yards. Is Donovan Smith, the left tackle, is now the most penalised player in the NFL.
Oh, really?
33.
Hmm.
Tom Brady now has the most wins postseason as well since the merger in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
He's now got one more than Peyton Manning.
All right, then.
And they're going to cause teams trouble in January.
Yeah. It's just,
But-
Tom Brady threw 2 touchdown passes in the last 3 minutes.
Oh, Tom Brady was just immense.
Yeah.
At one point, the one before that where he made it a 2-score game, a 1-score game.
Mhm.
The Saints' drive lasted 31 seconds.
Jesus.
That's hardly eating the clock, is it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But great win for the Bucks, and you know what? I think that's now them. They'll make the playoffs, and then they'll figure out how to win in January.
The interesting thing here is if they can get through the next 2 weeks, maybe at 1-1 worst, right? They can be pretty comfortable for the rest of the year because it's Cardinals, Panthers, and Falcons to finish up the season.
Yeah.
So 1-1 at worst, but it's the 49ers, the Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, Falcons. So 5-0 is definitely possible, especially we don't know what we're going to get from the 49ers next week. Maybe Brock Purdy with a week of practice is going to be better. If it is Brock Purdy, who knows? It may be Baker Mayfield, who was released by the Panthers.
No, I think Baker Mayfield in this league is done.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll get a shot as a backup. We'll see. Let me look at this game. The Buccaneers 8 for 15 on third down. Tom Brady was 36 for 54, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And I see a lot of people rattling on. He had 5 completions over 10 air yards or something like that. Not interested. He won the game. I used to be. Tell me that a year and a half ago, I'd have been all over your case, but nah, not anymore. It's effective. It does the job. Always gets him the win, and yet again, it's done so.
I'm going to give you a great stat.
Mm-hmm.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have gained a first down on 7% of their third downs, where they've had 10 or more yards to go.
Whoa, that is a stat. Pull that one out of the bag.
7%.
That's pretty crazy, to be fair.
The lowest in the NFL.
Yeah.
Even the Texans are better.
Oh, wow. I mean, to be fair, it's not a very favorable situation.
It's also not a favorable stat either because say the Texans have only done it once and they complete it.
Yeah. Aye. I think the Saints can kind of, I suppose they could hang their hat on. They played clean football, I suppose. They didn't turn the ball over. Other than the fact that, obviously the pass interference call towards the end kind of killed them, but,
It was a pass interference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a phantom one like we've seen Tom Brady get over the years. Well, Saints, they're dead in the water. It's done for them, but we all expected it to be the case. They could have Lamar Jackson next year, and it might be a different story.
Potentially.
Well, that will do it for this episode of the End of the Fourth Football Podcast. Thank you very, very much for hanging out with us, as you always do. You can check out all our social links there in the description. We're always posting random silly stuff during the games, and also you'll be updated when an episode goes live. We got anything else to say? I think what we're going to do from now on, we're going to try that format of we will do the Thursday night preview as its own show, which will be exclusive on the Let's Talk Sports Network, and then the week preview show will come out on Fridays for the rest of the season. I like that lookout right there.
Yes, that should be good.
Yes. All right then. Well, that's it from me, B-Hizzy.
and The Prez.
Thank you very much again, and ciao for now.